When an electrical inspector disputes approved plans after you've installed a new service, several resolution strategies exist. Firstly, contact the architect or engineer, often abbreviated as P, who designed the system. Present your case, emphasizing that you installed the service according to their approved plans. Make it clear that you are not responsible for the approval process and request their support in resolving the issue. Secondly, attempt to negotiate with the inspector, explaining your situation and highlighting your reliance on the approved plans. Stress that you had no reason to doubt their validity. Explore if there are any technical workarounds or alternative solutions that can meet safety standards without requiring a major redo. Thirdly, if negotiations fail, file an appeal with the inspection authority. State your case clearly and provide supporting documentation, such as a copy of the approved plans and any relevant correspondence with the PE. Fourthly, consider seeking legal advice from an attorney who specializes in construction law if all else fails. They can help you understand your rights and options and advocate on your behalf. Additional considerations are important during this process. Review the approved plans thoroughly to identify any potential errors or discrepancies that may have led to the inspector's objection. Also, reach out to the local building department for clarification on the approval process and to determine if there are any policies or procedures that may have been overlooked. Contacting trade associations or professional organizations that represent the industry might provide guidance or support in dealing with the situation. To avoid similar issues in the future, several prevention tips are helpful. Before starting any work, always verify that the plans have been approved by the appropriate authorities. Engage with inspectors early on to discuss the plans and clarify any potential concerns. Maintain detailed records of all communications, approvals, and inspections related to the project. Establish positive relationships with inspectors and other stakeholders to facilitate open communication and cooperation. Now let's delve into each of these strategies in more detail. When contacting the PE, present your case methodically. Provide specific details about the installation, referencing relevant sections of the approved plans. If possible, obtain a written statement from the PE confirming that the installation complies with their design intent. This statement can serve as valuable supporting documentation during negotiations or appeals. When negotiating with the inspector, remain calm and professional, even if you disagree with their assessment. Avoid getting defensive or argumentative. Instead, focus on finding common ground and exploring potential solutions. Offer to make minor modifications or adjustments to the installation if necessary to address the inspector's concerns, as long as these changes do not compromise the integrity or functionality of the system. When filing an appeal, carefully review the procedures and requirements outlined by the inspection authority. Prepare a comprehensive appeal package that includes a detailed explanation of the situation, copies of the approved plans and permits, correspondence with the PE, and any other relevant documentation. Clearly state the reasons why you believe the inspector's decision is incorrect or unjustified. If possible, obtain expert testimony from other qualified professionals to support your appeal. Seeking legal advice is a significant step, so choose an attorney with extensive experience in construction law and a proven track record of success in resolving disputes with inspection authorities. Provide the attorney with all relevant documentation and information about the project. Follow their advice carefully and be prepared to take legal action if necessary to protect your rights. When reviewing the approved plans, pay close attention to any notes, specifications, or details that may be ambiguous or unclear. If you identify any potential errors or omissions, consult with the PE or a qualified electrical engineer to obtain clarification. Contacting the building department can provide valuable insights into the approval process and any applicable policies or procedures. Ask to speak with a senior official or supervisor who can provide guidance and support. Be prepared to provide detailed information about the project and answer any questions they may have. Engaging with industry associations can connect you with a network of experienced professionals who can offer advice, support, and resources. Many associations offer dispute resolution services or can provide referrals to qualified attorneys or consultants. When verifying plan approvals, check the official records of the building department or inspection authority to ensure that the plans have been properly approved and stamped. Obtain copies of all approval documents for your records. Engaging with inspectors early on in the project can help prevent misunderstandings and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Schedule a pre-construction meeting with the inspector to discuss the plans and address any potential concerns. Maintaining detailed records of all communications, approvals, and inspections is essential for protecting your interest in case of a dispute. Keep copies of all permits, plans, inspection reports, and correspondence related to the project. Establish positive relationships with inspectors and other stakeholders by treating them with respect and professionalism. Be open to their suggestions and willing to address their concerns. By following these strategies and prevention tips, electrical contractors can effectively navigate disputes with inspection authorities and protect their interests. Remember that clear communication, thorough documentation, and a proactive approach are essential for resolving these types of issues. Let's consider a hypothetical example to illustrate these strategies in action. Imagine that you've installed a new service for a retail store in Portage, Indiana, based on plans approved by a PE. The electrical inspector rejects the installation, claiming that the service entrance conductors are undersized according to the 2008 National Electrical Code, referred to as NEC 2008. You believe that the plans were properly designed and approved, and that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Firstly, contact the PE who designed the system. Explain the situation and provide them with a copy of the inspector's report. Request their assistance in resolving the issue. The PE reviews the plans and confirms that the service entrance conductors are sized correctly based on the calculated load. Secondly, schedule a meeting with the electrical inspector to discuss the issue. Present the PE calculations and explain why you believe the installation is code compliant. Be prepared to answer any questions the inspector may have and provide additional documentation if requested. After reviewing the PE calculations and discussing the issue, the inspector remains unconvinced. They maintain that the service entrance conductors are undersized and require you to replace them with larger conductors. Thirdly, file an appeal with the inspection authority. Prepare a detailed appeal package that includes a copy of the approved plans, the PE calculations, the inspector's report, and any other relevant documentation. Clearly state the reasons why you believe the inspector's decision is incorrect and provide evidence to support your claim. While the appeal is pending, consider seeking legal advice from an attorney who specializes in construction law. They can review your case and advise you on your legal options. The attorney may recommend negotiating with the inspection authority or filing a lawsuit to challenge the inspector's decision. After reviewing your appeal, the inspection authority upholds the inspector's decision. They agree that the service entrance conductors are undersized and require you to replace them with larger conductors. Having exhausted all other options, you decide to file a lawsuit against the inspection authority. You argue that the inspector's decision was arbitrary and capricious and that it violated your rights as an electrical contractor. After a lengthy court battle, the judge rules in your favor. The judge finds that the inspector's decision was not supported by the evidence and that the service entrance conductors were properly sized according to the approved plans. The judge orders the inspection authority to approve the installation and issue a certificate of occupancy. While this is a hypothetical example, it illustrates the importance of following the resolution strategies and prevention tips. By being proactive, documenting everything, and seeking expert advice, you can protect your interests and resolve disputes with inspection authorities effectively. Let's say a little more about some typical electrical components and their specifications that might be subject to inspection. Consider conductors. Conductors are sized based on ampacity, which is the current carrying capacity of the conductor. The NEC provides tables that specify the ampacity of different types of conductors based on their size, insulation, and installation conditions. For example, Table 310.16 in the NEC provides ampacity ratings for conductors based on a temperature rating of 60 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Celsius, or 90 degrees Celsius. Conductors must be protected from overcurrent by fuses or circuit breakers. The overcurrent protection device must be sized to protect the conductor from overheating or damage. The NEC provides rules for selecting the appropriate overcurrent protection device for different types of conductors. Grounding is a critical safety requirement for electrical systems. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trap the overcurrent protection device and prevent electrical shock hazards. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding electrical systems, including the size and type of grounding conductors, the location of grounding electrodes, and the bonding of metal enclosures. Electrical panels, also known as load centers or distribution panels, are used to distribute electrical power to different circuits in a building. Electrical panels must be properly sized to accommodate the load served by the panel. The NEC provides rules for calculating the load served by an electrical panel and for selecting the appropriate size panel. Electrical panels must be installed in a location that is accessible and protected from damage. The NEC provides requirements for the location and installation of electrical panels, including clearances, working space, and protection from physical damage. Receptacles, also known as outlets, are used to provide a connection point for electrical appliances and equipment. Receptacles must be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards. The NEC requires that all receptacles installed in dwelling units be tamper-resistant to protect children from electrical shock hazards. Receptacles must be installed in a location that is accessible and protected from damage. The NEC provides requirements for the location and installation of receptacles, including spacing requirements, height requirements, and protection from physical damage. Lighting fixtures are used to provide illumination in buildings. Lighting fixtures must be properly installed and wired to prevent electrical shock hazards. The NEC provides requirements for the installation and wiring of lighting fixtures, including grounding requirements, wiring methods, and support requirements. Lighting fixtures must be selected to provide the appropriate level of illumination for the task being performed. The NEC provides recommended illumination levels for different types of spaces and activities. Conduit is a type of race we use to protect electrical conductors from damage. Conduit must be properly sized to accommodate the conductors installed in the conduit. The NEC provides rules for calculating the size of conduit required for different types of conductors. Conduit must be installed in a location that is accessible and protected from damage. The NEC provides requirements for the location and installation of conduit, including support requirements, bending requirements, and sealing requirements. These components, along with others, are carefully scrutinized during electrical inspections to ensure safety and code compliance.